Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the matrix chain multiplication problem. So in this video I will be explaining you the memoization approach, which is the dynamic programming approach, and we will be explaining the same problem of multiplying the matrices. So the prerequisite for seeing this video is to watch my video on MCM recursive problem. So the link for that will be present in the description below. After watching this video, continue this one. Now I have already shown in my previous video that this will be the recursive code for solving the MCM problem. Now this is a exponential time complexity algorithm if you solve it by using pure recursion. Let us now see how do we optimize this recursive approach. Now let us take 4 matrices. We will be taking A, B, C, D, and let us assume certain configurations in which we will be breaking it. Okay, so let's assume we are multiplying A, B, C, D. Then what we can do is we can partition between all these points. Okay, so we will assume that we will partition between B and C. If we do that, then AB will be on left hand side, CD will be on right hand side. Again we can partition it into A and B, and similarly for this CD we can partition it into C and D. Now once we try for this possibility, okay, for this partition, we will try for other partition points. Okay, so let's assume that we are trying for this one between C and D. Now if we partition between C and D, then our subproblems will be A, B, C and D. Okay, and now again A, B and C can be divided. We can put a partition line, we can put it anywhere, but let's assume that we are putting it between B and C. So we can again partition it into A, B and C, and again A, B can be partitioned into A and B. Okay, so you can see that this A, B here and this A, B here is repeating, right? So when we are given matrices, let's assume that we are given matrix A, B, C, D, then we will be trying to partition at all possible points. First we will try for this first point, then we will get some answer. We will try for the second point, we will get some answer. Again we will remove this. We will try for this third point, we will get some answer. We will take the optimal out of all these possible answers. So here I have shown what will be the answer, like how the structure will look if we divide between B and C. Here I have shown if we divide between C and D, what will be the structure. Now this AB problem is repeating. This subproblem is repeating here. Okay, and these leaf nodes will always be repeating. Okay, so if you draw it completely, I have not shown the complete partitions. So if you draw it completely, you will find many repeating subproblems. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea about the repeating subproblems. Now actually, in order to find out what will be the optimal answer, that is minimum number of multiplications in order to multiply all these matrices, then what we will do is we will find out what will be the minimum number of multiplications in order to form ABC, and what will be the minimum number of multiplications in order to form D. And then we can find out together by combining what will be the minimum number of multiplications required in order to form ABCD, provided we are dividing between C and D, right? So what we are doing is, in order to find the answer for ABCD, we are just dividing this problem into subproblems. Okay, we are dividing it into subproblems, and now we are solving these subproblems in order to solve the bigger subproblem, right? So in order to solve this ABC, we need to solve AB and C, and in order to solve this ABCD, we need to solve this ABC and D, right? So this is the optimal substructure property, which means that we can break a bigger problem into smaller subproblems, and then we can solve the smaller subproblems in order to get the solution for the bigger problem, right? So this was what we were doing in the code also. We were just partitioning using the K pointer. We were partitioning at all the possible points from L to less than R. And then we were finding the answer to the left partition, we were finding the answer to the right partition, and we were finding the current cost of multiplication of the two matrices, which was left and right. And then we were comparing it with the answer, and we were storing optimal result into our answer, right? So this was the optimal substructure property, because we are solving the smaller subproblems, getting the answer of the smaller subproblems in order to solve the bigger problem. Okay, now this is a exponential time complexity recursive approach. Now how do we optimize it? If you can see, if we can store the result of this subproblem somehow, let's say the result is 4000. Okay, if we can store this 4000, then whenever we hit this subproblem, then we can simply return 4000 without doing any calculation and without traversing this subtree. Okay, so this will be saving us a lot of time. That is why what we can do is we can take a memoization array. And what will be the size? You can take the size as n by n. Okay, where n is the number of matrices you want to multiply. So if you can see here, now in the memoization array you need to update the answers. Okay, so whenever you calculate the answer, the optimal answer will be contained in this answer variable for this given subproblem. And now just before returning, you want to save this answer into your memoization array. So you can store at L and R, saying that the answer for partition between L to R, that means this part, will be equals to this one, which is calculated already, right? So what this is doing is this answer is getting assigned to memoization at LR and then it is getting returned. Okay. Now we need to also check if the answer is already calculated so that we don't have to perform all these calculations. So just after checking for boundary check, we can just insert here if memoization at L R is not equals to, let's say, -1, right? So what we can do is we can assign all these cells of memoization with -1 if we know that -1 will never come in our calculation. Since we are calculating the number of multiplication, it can always be greater than equals to 0. It cannot go to negative value. So if we assign all the values of the memoization cells with a negative value, then we know that negative value can never come. And if the cell is already negative, that means it is never calculated. Okay. So if memoization at L are not equals to -1, that means it is a positive value. Then it means that it is already calculated and we just need to return the value at memoization at L and R. Okay, so this is saving us a lot of time. This entire code will not be passed again. Okay, so this will save us a lot of time. The time complexity of this algorithm will approximately be order of n cube. And why it is not order of n square? Because you can see here that if it was a single tree, then this might have been order of n square. But since the root is changing n number of times, because if you are having n number of matrices, you are dividing it at n minus 1 number of points. So that is why we have to draw multiple trees, and that will be true for all the internal nodes. And so if you multiply n square with n, then it will be equals to n cube. Okay, so this is approximately the same time which is taken by the tabulation DP approach. So in the next video I will be explaining you the tabulation DP. I hope you were able to understand this video. If you have any doubt, then feel free to comment below and I will try to help you as soon as possible. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.